The Swiss Peace Summit has come to an end, and it has been a catastrophic event for Zelensky and the West. The summit began with the same repetitive, boring populist claims made by European politicians, and ended with a strange final photo. To understand how this all happened, let's go back to the beginning. The summit, which was initially called the Peace Formula Summit, was planned to take place at the UN. As the name suggests, the Zelensky Peace Formula was to be discussed there. Then, in 2023, Ukraine presented the summit as an alternative to China's agenda for the Global South. Yermak, Zelensky's trusted advisor, discussed this with other political advisors at meetings. In January 2024, faced with funding problems and concerns about illegitimacy, Zelensky proposed holding the summit in Switzerland. After this announcement, it became clear that the summit would no longer be about the UN or the Global South. Instead, it will be a meeting or something else. To expand the conference's geography, Zelensky's formula was shortened from 10 points to just 3, but even this didn't solve the problem. After the May diplomacy of China, it became evident that the summit could turn into a demonstration of the United States' inability to provide necessary results. To avoid a humiliating situation, the United States decided to distance itself from the summit as much as possible. This decision effectively ended the event before it even started. Before the summit, Zelensky used his favorite technique of emotional and impudent diplomacy. He tried to redo the text of the decision, inserting clauses about the withdrawal of Russian troops. However, this caused indignation and threatened to drop down the number of signatories. As a result, everything turned out as crooked as possible and didn't completely correspond to either the initial ideas. Not at the UN, not 120 country leaders, not Zelensky formula, not everyone's side, no demand for the withdrawal of Russian army from Ukraine. The last point is the most important for Ukraine, but Zelensky couldn't even achieve that. Russia and China are happy because the summit showed a split in the world, the inability of the West to force other countries to come and sign. To give you an idea, in February 2023, 141 states supported a UN General Assembly resolution calling for the immediate withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine. Now only 78 states and 4 organizations support a significantly weaker text following the Swiss meeting. In fact, at the Peace Summit, they discussed some vague wishes, not demands. Western media directly write that the meeting did not contribute to the achievements of peace in Ukraine. And although the organizers and participants are trying to hide this, as I said, the summit recorded a split in the international community on the Ukraine issue. The leading countries of the Global South either ignored the summit, like China, or did not sign the final declaration, like India and Saudi Arabia. So the initial main goal of the summit, to unite all the leading countries of the world in supporting the Ukraine position in military confrontation with the Russian Federation, has not been fulfilled. It turns out that Kiev has not been able to conquer the Global South over the past years. Moreover, the position of the countries of the Global South largely nullifies any decisions of the summit because only China, India and other countries loyal to the Russian Federation could influence Moscow's position to achieve implementation of these decisions. But they are not among the signatories. The summit turned out to be another meeting of Europeans who are already constantly discussing Ukraine, and the absence of the US President Joe Biden at the event demonstrated, according to Western media, a certain skepticism of Washington regarding such a format. In turn, the Russian Federation, without even being present at the summit, achieved recognition of non-alternative status of party to negotiations. The success of the Peace Summit in Switzerland was so great that some participants began leaving it even before its formal completion. Kamala Harris, the US Vice President, flew away first, then Olaf Scholz, the Chancellor of Germany, and the Prime Minister of Japan. To top it off, there was a final photo from the summit. In it, Yermak, the head of the office of the President of Ukraine, stands among presidents and heads of countries. Officially, he is not on the high rank to be there. This shows how badly Zelensky is under control and suggests that Yermak used this summit to present himself to others as a future head of Ukraine, because Zelensky is no longer legitimate. Nevertheless, I will make a video about Yermak. In conclusion, the unipolar world order is coming to an end. The West is no longer able to control other nations, especially those that have emerged from their colonial past. The longer the West persists in its belief that it can control everything and everyone, the more dangerous it becomes for all of us. The danger lies in the ease with which red lines can be crossed, leading to a nuclear apocalypse that was once only a distant nightmare.